And Kristen, I'd like to start with you with kind of the obvious question. With the world economy on pause, how have you adjusted your focus, given that it's your first week and you've been thrown into the deep end?
Yeah, so it's been my first full week in the office, and it's been busy. We are still working through some projects, taking a couple before council at our next meeting, and we've had some new ones come in. It does seem like there's a shift, though, that most of the projects we're working are domestic investments. Any that were related to foreign investments have slowed or paused at the time. So that's an interesting thing. As far as our focus, we've been spending a lot of time with our existing industries.
John, how about you?
Yeah, I would sort of back up what Kristen said. I mean, surprisingly, our focus has not shifted. I mean, our world has changed completely, but it's also not changed. It's just shocking to me that we're still continuing to work projects, new projects. So that has been a very pleasant surprise for me. And we continue to work on some product related stuff because we know, most of that stuff is long term, and we're going to come out of this. And when we come out of this, if we see some of the reshoring and changing of supply chains that people are prognosticating right now, then having product ready to go is going to be even more important. So the part of the world that has changed, of course, is, and I won't say our focus has changed because our focus is always on existing industry. You want to be there for those guys all the time, but you certainly want to be there for them in times of crisis. So there has been a whole lot more communication with our existing industry, and really some cool things have come out of that. Some connections we've been able to make between different companies to kind of make some lemonade out of some lemons.
Yep. And Steve, I know you can't see us. We've got Steve by audio, but Steve, how about you? How have you guys adjusted your focus? I know you guys got a great existing industry concierge program there, so you're set up. But how have things changed in your shop?
Well, I would have to concur with what Kristen and John said, in the sense that, we're still working all the projects that were viable and alive and kicking before this began. And we've got about 5 of them at this point that are ready to take the next step. And I think one thing I'm confronting now is just, when can we get back to a normal county council schedule? With the social distancing and the need to have meetings online, so to speak, there's a limited amount that most counties are going to want to try to do that's, above and beyond an emergency measure. So we're kind of waiting out that calendar and those kind of issues, to get back to a little bit more regular schedule with county council and be able to take some of this stuff forward. But, beyond that, I mean, we got thrust into a emergency response pretty quickly with the amount of phone calls we were getting. And I think probably every department in this state can say that it got busy, with a COVID-19 section on their internet site, and, doing whatever they could do to help their existing companies. We've certainly been doing that. And we did a survey over the last couple of weeks, and got the response back from that, and began to understand a little bit where our companies as a whole stand, in terms of layoffs and furloughs, in terms of the amount of business they've cut back on, who's closed plants, who has supply chain issues. And we'll repeat that again, probably more than once in the weeks to come, knowing that the whole situation's fluid. And so it's been kind of a simultaneously reactive and proactive. And I will say the third piece of it is that we have spent probably more time on webinars than anybody has a right to in terms of looking into the future. There's been quite a few intriguing webinars available out there by groups like the International Economic Development Council and some of the consultants, kind of looking into the future, trying to, make sense of all the COVID-19 challenge and what it's going to mean to the business landscape, what the new normal might be.
last but not least on this question, Mike Graney, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
We've engaged our lead generators who normally find meetings, companies for us to talk to, or are interested in expansion opportunities in the Southeast U.S. And we've charged them instead with finding out what's going on in their countries and in their industry sectors. And we've gotten some preliminary information. I think there's two trends we're going to watch very carefully and be prepared to jump on when normal returns, however we define normal. John brought one up earlier, and that was supply chain disruption. We see a lot more intra-US or intra-NAFTA suppliers as opposed to things going around the world. And so I think that's one opportunity. And the second, that's the first thing out about just about everybody's mouth right now is we all know that the heroes in this fight and in this war are the frontline medical people. And right behind them are the life science industry that's coming up with drugs and therapeutics and vaccines and tests. And so we see the life sciences as something that's going to leap forward. So we're putting a lot of effort over the next 60 to 90 days into studying those two trends and being ready to go out and take advantage of those in the fall or as soon as the crisis allows us to do so.